Hi, welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to show you the tutorial how to crochet this case for your bottle. It's a perfect project for the summer, and it also has this strap to take it with you to add a little bit of functionality to this project. And this tutorial is spread to two parts. In the first part we're gonna learn how to make this case, and in the second part, which is also optional, we're gonna learn how to make this strap, which is made with this beautiful stitch inspired with the Tunisian style, and because of it it's very strong. It's not stretchy almost at all, so I hope you will like this tutorial. And also I need to say that this tutorial might be the start of a kind of a series when I'm gonna show you the tutorials or just an experience with some projects made of the scrap yarn, because if you also have the same bag as me, and I'm talking about this bag this is my bag of shame. There's a lot of scrap yarns. These are just one singular balls of yarn in only one color, so I'm not able to do a big project. I have a mission, my scrap mission, to make more and more projects like this, where you need only one or max 2 balls of yarn in each color. This is the project one of this kind, so I hope you like it. I think it's very practical. So now move on to the pattern and let's get started. For this project you're gonna need 2 balls of cotton yarn in 2 different colors. You can use 100% cotton yarn or a cotton blend, 3mm crochet hook, and scissors. Now move on to the pattern and let's get started. Alright, so what's important is to have your bottle always next to you, because you will need to from time to time check if everything is okay, if your case fits to your bottle. So I recommend you to have it always next to you while you're making this project, especially at the beginning. So start with the yarn with a color you want to have at the bottom of your case, and as the background for your granny flowers. So for me it's gonna be this salmon pinkish orange. And yeah, so we're gonna start with the most basic stitch for this type of projects, and it will be magic ring. So of course everyone has a different method for magic ring. I will show you mine. Alright, so I take my 2 fingers and I wrap the yarn around them like this, and again to make a cross here at the bottom, and then I am here, and this string is in the middle of these two. And now I'm going under the first string of yarn, take the third one, pull it through both of them, go under the middle one, take the string and pull it through the loop. And this is how I'm making the magic ring. And yeah, we're gonna start with chain 2, so 1 and 2, and now we're gonna make 8 double crochets in this magic ring. So here is our first double crochet, and we're gonna make 8 of them. So 2, 3, 'Alright, so we're making 8 double crochets because we want this magic ring and this part of our project to be as flat as possible. So now we're gonna close the magic ring. All right, and close it again with a slip stitch, and we go into the first stitch just after the chain 2, and we make a slip stitch just like this. Yeah, and here's our magic ring with 8 double crochets, and as you can imagine, it's gonna be like here under your bottle, and it's gonna be it will be getting bigger and bigger, and later we're gonna build our case around the bottle. So yeah, now we are working on our foundation. So the next row, our second row, it's gonna be increases in all of these spaces. So we start with a chain 2. We're gonna start each row like this for the foundation, and now we make 2 double crochets in the first stitch. So this is the same stitch we made our slip stitch. So we go here and we make 2 double crochets, because this is gonna be an increase. All right, so this is our increase, and we're gonna make this in all of these stitches. So there's gonna be 8 increases. So in each space we make 2 double crochets just like this. Alright, and here we are at the end of our second row. So we go into the last stitch, and again we make 2 double crochets. And of course we skip this stitch because this is our slip stitch, so we're pretending that there is nothing there. Alright, and now we make again a slip stitch to connect this row, and we go again into the first stitch we have in this second row. Yeah, and it should look like this. So now we're gonna make a third row. So we start with chain 2. There will be a little bit of difference here because now we're gonna make 1 double crochet and 1 increase. So we're gonna do 1 double crochet in the first stitch, and in the second stitch 2 double crochets, and so on. So the pattern for this round is 1 double crochet, 1 increase, 1 double crochet, 1 increase. So we start again in the same stitch we made our slip stitch, and we make 1 double crochet just like this, and again in the second stitch we make 2 double crochets because this is our increase. So in the same space and second double crochet. So we're gonna repeat it in all of these spaces for this round. So we're gonna do 1 double crochet and an increase, so 2 double crochets in 1 space, and again 1 double crochet, and in the next space 2 double crochets in 1 space, and so on and so on. Alright, and here's our last sequence. So 1 double crochet and 2 double crochets in 1 and last space. Again, we skip this slip stitch. And of course, after making the whole round, you can stretch your project to keep it flat, because it will make the stitches more loose and even. So yeah, now we close the round and we go into the first stitch and we make a slip stitch. And this is the perfect time to stretch it a little bit. And as you can see, it's quite flat. And well, you can check, of course, if it fits your bottle. For me, I think it's gonna be one last row to make for this foundation. And yeah, I'm gonna show you somehow it. Yeah, and of course, if you have a bigger bottle, you're gonna need more rows, but the rule is the same. So for each row you add one single crochet before the increase. So as you can imagine, now we're gonna make after our chain 2, now we're gonna make 2 double crochets and 1 increase. So we go into the first stitch, we make double crochet, we go into the next stitch, the second one, and we make a double crochet. And now in this third stitch we make an increase, so 2 double crochets, and so on. And we're gonna make it like this through all of these stitches till the end of this round. So 1 double crochet, now the second one, and now 2 in one space. So our increase, of course. Alright, so as you can see, now it's time to close our last row of this foundation. So we're making a slip stitch, and it looks like this. So as you can see, when I am placing it at the bottom of my bottle, it looks quite the same as the bottom. And if you also at this point, it's time to make another round, which will be different. So if you need more rows, then just make them and come back to this point of the video. And if you are already done with this foundation, now let's make again chain 2. And now we're gonna work in the back loops, because we want our project to fold just like the bottle. So we're gonna work for this row only in the back loops. So as you can see, if you are looking at your stitches, you can see 2 loops. This is the front loop and this is the back loop. So we're gonna work into the back loop, so we go like between them and just like this. So we're gonna work just like this, only in the back loops. So for this round we're gonna do double crochets, but for this pattern we're gonna need 3 extra stitches to have this flowers come out even after all. So we need to add 3 extra double crochets. You can add them wherever you want, but the best is to place them in like similar spaces between. So I'm gonna add it here at the beginning of this row, somewhere here and somewhere here, so it's not gonna be that visible. So of course adding a double crochet means an increase. So of course we start with this increase, as I said. So we go into the back loop, we make a double crochet, and now we make another double crochet into the same back loop. Now we're gonna work 1 double crochet in each back loop for about 11 stitches. So we make around 11 double crochets. Of course, it can be more or less. It depends how much stitches you have. Alright, so here I started this this row, and somewhere here, so it creates kind of a triangle, so somewhere here I will make the double crochet. So I already made 1 double crochet, now the second one, and here we have an increase. Now we will work around 10 stitches just to get around this place, and we're gonna make there another increase. Alright, so I'm about here, and now I make again increase. So this is our third increase and the last one. So 1 double crochet and the second one double crochet in the same space. Now I will just work 1 double crochet into the next stitches till the end of this round. Alright, so I am at the end of this round, and we're gonna go here to the first stitch just to make a slip stitch and close it. Of course, it is now more like a cap, because this is the foundation of our case for the bottle, and it should already build up around the walls of this bottle. So you can place your bottle to see if it fits. Alright, now you can see that this covers exactly the bottom of my bottle, and this next row just started to build up around these walls. Of course, this is not much for this point and it comes out, but we're gonna now work around these bottle, so for this walls, and now there's no gonna be any increases because we just need to stick to this measurements. Alright, so now we're gonna work our first row with a granny stitch. So we're gonna start with a chain 3 because here we're gonna need like more height and more space to bend the stitches. So from now we're gonna build up our rows with chain 3. So we're gonna of course still work with double crochets, and now we're gonna skip the first stitch, so the stitch we made our slip stitch in, and the second stitch, and we go into the third, and we make 3 double crochets in this one space. So 2 and 3. So it should look like this. Here is our chain, and here is our first granny stitch. So we will work 3 double crochets in the third spaces from each stitch. So now we again skip 2 stitches and we go into the third, and we make 3 double crochets. So the easiest method to remember it is remembering number 3, because it's everywhere. We start with chain 3, we go into the 3rd stitch all the time, and in this 3rd stitch we are making 3 double crochets. So everything is everywhere is number 3. So I think this this will make easier to remember for you. So again, we skip 2 stitches, we go into the 3rd one, and we are making 3 double crochets in this 3rd stitch, just like that. And we go all around till the end of this row. Alright, so now I am at the end of this row, and as you can see, there's a little bit of mess because of the chain. But now we're gonna make our last granny square, our last granny stitch into our slip stitch. So this time we go into the slip stitch because we want to connect this stitch with our chain to a little bit hide it. So here in this slip stitch we're gonna make 2 double crochets, because here we're gonna count this chain as the 3rd double crochet. So our closing is gonna look like this. We're gonna go into this big hole next to the chain, so between chain and the 1st granny stitch, and we're gonna make a slip stitch to pull it to our last granny stitch, and it looks like this. So I think this chain looks like our 3rd double crochet. Alright, and it should look like this. Yeah, so of course again you can place it on your bottle to see how it looks like. And as you can see, it fits. So yeah, so we're gonna work like this till the end. Alright, so in the next row we're gonna add our 2nd color. So take your 2nd yarn, and yeah, so now it's time to practice your color work, because it can be tricky sometimes. And yeah, so to change the color in the most seamless way, we need to go back a little bit. So undo the last slip stitch, go again here, and now just pull this yarn to make it tight around your hook. Take your 2nd color and make a slip stitch with this 2nd color. So as you can see, this is the most seamless way I can think of. And now we're gonna start and make a chain 3, and we're gonna do a 1st granny square here in this 1st hole just next to our chain. So we're gonna go and do 2 double crochets here, because again we count this chain as a double crochet. And the next thing that is important when you do a color work is to take your 2nd color, because now we're gonna need it, and place it here behind your stitches to work around it, so to hide it, and also take it with you when you go further into your project. So now we're gonna make 2 double crochets, and as you can see, I am working this double crochets also around this string of our, let's say, orange pink yarn. All right, so I hide it here. I don't finish the last double crochet. I put down my second color, so we're gonna call it second color and the first color. So I take again my first color and I pull it through, so I finish my double crochet and it looks like this. And now I'm gonna make the next granny stitch into the next hole, and now we're gonna make 3 double crochets here. Again, you don't finish your last double crochet, so you end up like this. Again, you put down your first color, you take your second color, pull it through these 2 last loops, and again take your first color with you, hide it behind your work, and make another granny stitch. So we make 3 double crochets, we don't finish it, we change our color, so we take again our first color, we take our second color with us, and we make in the next space 3 double crochets, and we don't finish the last one. So we're gonna work like this. Of course it's a little bit tricky, but this row will look like this not all the time. The next one will be more comfortable for you. So as you can see, I hide my yarn behind the work. I still have it with me and I can change one by one my colors. So we're gonna work like this till the end of this round. All right, so here I am at the point where I need to make the last double crochet. So I make out my last double crochet and I leave it like this, so I don't finish it. Again, I change my yarn to the second color because we need to end this row with a second color, because the next row is gonna be only in the second color, so there won't be any color changing. So I make now only a slip stitch here, or even maybe if you can, don't go into this hole, but try to go into this stitch, the last stitch of your chain, because it should look more seamless. And the next row is gonna be only in the second color. So we start with chain 3 and we go into this first space and we make 2 double crochets just like this. And now we go into the next space, we make another 3 double crochets, so the next granny stitch, and so on and so on, and we go like this till the end of this row. So now it's time to close this row, so we're gonna go into the last chain from the beginning, but we're not gonna pull through our second color but our first color, so we're gonna go back to it and pull our first color through and make a slip stitch. And now we're gonna make a granny stitch here, so in this hole under our chain. So we start with this chain, so we're gonna make chain 3 and go here. Of course, take your second color with you, because in this round we're gonna work with 2 colors one by one. So we make 2 double crochets because we count our chain as a first double crochet, just like this. And so this row is gonna be the same as this second row from our granny stitch rows. So it's gonna be one by one with these 2 different colors. So now we start with our first color, then we're gonna make the granny stitch with the second color, then again with the first, and again with the second. So in this way we're gonna create this kind of a flower. So of course the blue granny stitches have to be above this second color stitches, and the first color stitches have to be above this first color stitches. So yeah, so of course we need to go back and don't finish this last granny square. Change the color, take your second color, pull through. Now take with you your first color and make this granny stitch in the next space. So we make 3 double crochets. Of course we don't finish the last one. Again we change colors, we go back to the first one, pull through, take your second color with you, and again make 3 double crochets in the next space, not finishing the last one. And again we change, and again we change the colors, we go back to the second color, we take our first color with us, and we go into the next space, we make 3 double crochets, we don't finish the last one, again we change the color, we take our first color, we take also our second color with us, and we go into the next space. And we're gonna work like this till the end of this row. So we need to have these 2 colors one by one, so the pattern should look like this. All right, so now I am finishing the last granny stitch. I didn't finish the last double crochet because we're gonna now last time switch our colors. We go back to our first color, we pull through, and now we go into the last stitch of your chain to make a slip stitch, and it should look like this. So as you can see, you can kind of see the pattern here. We have this blue accents here. So now to make a border between the next row with this blue stitches, we need to make one row with the first color. So this row will be worked with only first color. Now we're gonna make chain 3. We go into this first space and we make 2 double crochets because we count this chain as a first double crochet. And now we go into the next space and we make another granny stitch. So we make 3 double crochets and so on, and we're gonna work like this till the end of this row. So this row is worked with a first color only. Alright, so now it's time to close this row. And it should look like this. So this is the whole sequence we're gonna repeat from now. So from this first granny stitch row till the last one. So we start and we finish our sequence with whole row made with first color. Then we go one by one first and second color. Then we go only the row in only second color. The next row is again one by one both colors. Of course, the second and the first color need to be above each other, so it should look the same. And the last row of the sequence is the first color again to create this border. So it looks like this. And now you just need to repeat this sequence so you can build it around your whole bottle or just to the middle of it. So of course it's up to you. You can personalize it. So on the bottle it looks like this. So for me, I think it would be approximately 3 or 5 sequences of this pattern. And yes, so now you just need to go from here because we already made this border. So we finished and at the same started our sequence with the row of only first color. Then we go one by one, then only second color, again one by one, and only the first color, and so on and so on. And if you want the bigger border between this the sequences, you can of course add second row of only first color. It's up to you. So now I think I'm gonna make 4 or 5 sequences and I will go back to you. Alright, so I finished my last row of this whole pattern for the granny stitches, and I decided to add only 3 more sequences because, well, I want my bottle to stick stick out a little bit. So it looks like this, and now we're gonna do the last row for this case to kind of make a closure here. So yeah, let's take it off. And the last row, of course, you can go back to the second color, but I want my last row in the first color because it will be the same color as the foundation. And now we're gonna just make a chain 2 this time and go into every single stitch here. So we are not working in these big spaces anymore. Now we just go into these stitches from our double crochets, and we work 1 double crochet in each of them. Alright, so we are at the end of our last row, so we go into the chain and we make a slip stitch, and it should look like this. Alright, so now it's time to take your scissors and cut both of strings of your yarn. Alright, now pull this through, and it's time to hide all those ends. So let's just wrap it like this, and now you have full access to all the ends, and it's time to wave them. So of course it's the most random part, you can do it however you want. So this is the final case. So this is everything for this video, and if you want to add this strap, I invite you to the second part.